Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of CrossFit Khalipa. This is just a short format podcast where we dive into something I'm thinking about this upcoming week. And of course, we should each have had at least a cup of coffee. Now, topic conversation that's fresh on my mind is the idea of looking at the data that you're gathering and making sure your numbers are accurate before making big business decisions. So this one's a little bit more business focused today. It's all good. Before we get into it, for those of you who maybe aren't as interested in the business stuff or maybe don't have a company or whatnot, a movement that I think was really underutilized, at least for me, something I don't do enough, and something I did today, I just wanted to give you a friendly reminder on, is that when is the last time you took a set of dumbbells and you stepped up and over a box? It had been a while since I had done those. I tested it in a workout this morning with the crew, and it was a great reminder for me of just how difficult it could be to grab some dumbbells, put them at your size of your body, step up and over a box. I was doing them in sets of 10. I was doing them in the middle of another workout, but it's just a nice additional movement that I don't do very often that could be inspiration for you. So if you're listening to this podcast, you're like, dude, I was looking for something to do today. Hey, grab some dumbbells, step over and up and over a box, and keep training hard. Now, topic conversation. Something that's fresh in my mind is idea of data. So we get emails pretty often from different gym owners looking for advice or really it's advice or to share some ideas. And typically what I'll do is I'll write them back just a series of questions. And when I'm asking those questions, I'm looking for data to help us, to help me provide the best information I can. And so in particular, a gentleman and I was having an email exchange, and I wrote him back an email that I think is relevant for all of us listening, is this idea that your data and your numbers, they matter. And for a lot of years here at NCFIT, we would kind of say, oh, it's around this, or it's kind of like this, or, and that is very difficult because if your data is not concrete or specific and you're making these big decisions for your company for the next 5-10 years off of that data, you want to make sure that the data you're getting off of at the time is the best you could possibly get, so that when you reflect on your decision making a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, you say, hey, was that a good decision to make? Well, at the time, you made the best decision you could with the information you had. But if that information you have is just kind of assumptions or kind ofs, that's not best. So my email to this gentleman, I said, hey, I want to know specific numbers, please, not averages or we think. If your team doesn't know the specific numbers, that's fine, no problem. Just let me know so we can list that as an opportunity. So again, it's an opportunity. So if we're looking at different data, let's just say revenue, expenses, new leads, cancellations, average lifetime value, specific attendance per classes, we want to have specific data, not kind ofs or we think the average class attendance is 5 people. Well, is it 5 or is it 4 or 6? And the reason why that matters is that when you're looking at your financials, and let's just say it costs you X amount to host the class, it might not make sense at 4 people on average to have that class, but it might make sense at 5 or 6. So if you're saying we think, well, it's hard to say if it's 4, 5, or 6. You want to have the specific data. Same thing goes to your revenue and expenses and whatnot. Are you profitable? Are you not? And if you think you are, well, then back it up with the actual data. And so that's the inspiration for this week. And it's fresh on my mind because this email that I'm writing is that the numbers matter. And if you don't have those numbers, the specific data, that's okay, right? But list it as an opportunity. List it as something you're going to seek to find the solution or the answers to, instead of just having, someone say to you or to yourself, oh yeah, it's around this. I think that's really something that I've learned over the years, is that when you say around, you really don't know. And I'm speaking for myself. So if you're saying that same thing for any area of your business, go seek it out, have someone on your team seek it out. So you're looking at real data to make real decisions, to lay the framework for where you want to go for the next, year, 2 years, etc. Fresh on my mind, more business focused today for CrossFit Khalipa. I'll be back to, you never know. It's going to be a little bit of family, a little bit of fitness, a little bit of business, but this one's more business focused. For all the gym owners out there, keep crushing it. If you're not a gym owner, if you're an athlete, if you're a coach, if you're owning a coffee shop, which maybe one day I will, I hope you, your families are kicking ass. You're having a great week. Catch up again on another episode of CrossFit Khalipa next week. Let's go.